So we are back to make more progress on the Z today. Got a new mic. I hope it does good for the videos. I think it'll help a lot. Today, I think I'm going to knock out the fuel system, or at least try to. So that means new injectors, new pump, a full return style system. So we're adding a regulator. We have a lot of work to do. I'm going to go through it step by step with you guys, try to show you everything involved so that if you're thinking about going return style fuel system on your VQ, you know what it all entails. I'll show you the parts I got. I'll show you how to do it. We're going to learn together. Got a lot of work to do, so let's get to it. Let's dig into this big box of goodies. Looks like we got a fuel return line kit from Z1. I got everything from Z1. I know CJM or something also makes fuel return. This one's a new one from Z1. Figured I'd give it a shot, but I'm sure they're all pretty similar. So got a bunch of lines there. I went with the Dishworks 300 fuel pump. So this is a 340 LPH fuel pump for the 350Z. This should be enough for my power goals, which is around 400, a little under 400 on E85. E85 does require a little more fuel, so hoping this will be enough. We're going to see, because if you go any bigger than 300, you got to really modify the fuel basket in the car. We already have to for this, but I didn't want to go too overboard. Looks like we got some, I wonder if these are the injectors. Oh yes, coil packs. So I got 1-step coulter plugs as well as some upgraded coil packs from Z1. Let's see, what is this? Regulator perhaps? Yep. So here's the regulator from Z1. That'll be used to control your fuel pressure, and it'll increase at a 1-to-1 ratio with your boost PSI. So that's key for boosted applications. That's the whole reason you go with a return style system, to be able to regulate that fuel pressure with boost. So what is this? More miscellaneous fuel parts, fuel damper, fuel pressure regulator gauge, which will be nice to set our base fuel pressure, which I believe is around 52 PSI for the stock DE, which I think is what I should set it to, and then it just rises with the boost. But we're gonna learn. Here's the external fuel filter mount, and the fuel filter is probably in here as well. So that's all good. Oh, you know what? I forgot the instructions at home. Dang it. I'll just pull them up on my phone, but whatever. Fuel return hardware kit. Okay. More lines and fittings, I guess. What do we have here? 1000cc Z1 fuel injectors. And it comes with a sheet that flow rates the specific injectors that you receive, which is crucial for tuning. Very important. So it gives you the latency adder, static flow rate, and minimum pulse width. All things you need to input into your tuning software to be able to get your injector settings correct and make tuning easier and getting your idle right, all that. Here are the 1-step coulter plugs. And here's the inline fuel filter. This will be great, especially because I'm running pump E. I don't know, that stuff might get kind of nasty. And great thing about this is it's serviceable. So I can just buy the filter itself, replace it with regular maintenance. I don't know, I'll probably do that every, maybe once every 6 months or something, depending how much I drive it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Here is the regulator. Thought I already had the regulator. So what is this then? Not sure what that is. Some extra fitting. So here's the regulator. It's a nice piece, very solid. Nice. And it directly bolts to your firewall, so it mounts right up. Dang, this thing's heavy. Quality stuff, quality stuff. I believe that is about everything. Let's get to work. All right, so I went ahead and got the upper and lower plenum off. You can access the fuel rails here in the injectors. And also, I believe the coolant routing for the turbo coolant hoses is meant to go under the plenums towards the back and actually steal the throttle body coolant line. So the throttle body has this coolant line here and this coolant line here going to it. And that's really just meant to warm it up during the winter and prevent icing in the throttle body. But I'm gonna repurpose that to supply the coolant to the turbo. So Gonna hook up one of the turbo lines here, where that line goes to the throttle body at the source here, and then also this one at the source down there on the heater hose. So mocking up that. Also, while I'm here, gonna go ahead and swap out the spark plugs and the coil packs with the upgraded coil packs and one-step colder OEM spark plugs. All right, so while I'm in here, I'm gonna do my spark plugs and coil packs. So like I said, got these one-step colder OEM plugs, better for boost, as well as some upgraded Z1 coil packs. I don't know how much of a difference they actually make, but I got them. And so I'm gonna go ahead and replace them. Let's get to it. These shouldn't be, I was just about to say, these shouldn't be too tight. Bam, bam, bam. Yep. There we go. One out. Actually, doesn't look too bad. Nice. Cool, cool. New one going in. So fresh and so clean. Now, torque spec on these is approximately tight. Get them threaded in by hand. Okay. Now, it's not really. The actual torque spec is 18 pounds. So I'll just relax. Yep. Now, will it come off? Yes. Sometimes the socket gets stuck on the spark plug because these are spark plug sockets where it is meant to stick on them. So that can be annoying. Ouch, I'm bleeding. Okay, cool. New spark plug is in. Now let's put this fancy new Z1 coil pack in there as well. Whoa, what the hell? Got green on it. What the hell? Not sure what that is. But anyway, it's always good to put just a smidge of dielectric grease on the edge and inside of your coil pack just to get that nice connection. Nothing crazy, just a smidge. And that will just help the connection stay good. It won't corrode or anything like that. Okay, in we go. Bada bing, bada boom. And just gotta tighten her back down. Okay, just snug. And boom. Now I just gotta do that 5 more times. And the spark plugs and coils will be in. All right, let's get this seat out of here. I forgot about that. There's always a connector, man. Every time. Can never be easy. There's so much gross shit in here. Come on, out you go. Fat lord. Come on. There's another fucking plug. Why? What could that possibly be for? Oh, I hate cars. Now will you come out? Yes. Oh. It's a lot of weight. I need to get a lighter seat. I want to show you guys something. Looky here. What's that? Got a whole ass socket set, portable charger, and mouse nest. Gross. Wow. Can't believe that was in there this whole time. Alrighty, so I've got the new Z1 coil packs in with the new one-step colder spark plugs. Now I'm switching gears back over to the fuel system. Just was able to take out the fuel basket, so I just have to perform a lot of surgery on this bad Larry. Drill holes, all kinds of stuff. So let's get to it. tired. All right, I'm calling it here. I'm beat. It's getting late. Made a lot of progress with making this a fuel return. You have to do a lot of modifications to the fuel basket. I mean, I had to new fitting on here. To get that to seat, you had to Dremel out all that webbing there. It was just a lot of like tedious stuff. A lot of drilling, a lot of dremeling, filing. But I've only got to do one more modification to this, and that's to drill out the some sort of pressure relief valve. You got to bore it out a little bit, or else your idle fuel pressure won't be low enough. Saving that for next time, and then just got to attach this fitting up here, and then I'll have two fittings, a feed and a return on top. So then that'll go back in. I just have to route the lines down under the car and then up to the injectors and mount the regulator and put the new injectors in, stuff like that. So that'll kind of be the second half of this fuel system, but for now, I'm calling it quits here. Yeah, I don't think I touched on this, but the reason I'm going with a return style fuel system is so that your fuel pressure can rise with the boost at a 1-to-1 ratio. Because normally on a returnless style system, like the Z is from factory, you have your base fuel pressure and then it doesn't rise as the manifold air pressure or the boost rises, which it doesn't need to on a car. But the issue with that when you boost it is that it'll kind of choke out the injector, I think. And basically you'll have your base fuel pressure, but you'll need to have a fuel pressure great enough so that when you're at peak boost, you can supply enough fuel. But then that pressure might be too high when you're at idle to get your car to idle right. So adding a return style system with a regulator will help regulate that pressure. You'll be able to have a good idle and have plenty of pressure at peak boost. So that is the benefit of this. That's why I'm going through all this trouble. It's a pain in the ass, but hopefully it'll pay off. So far with the Z1 fuel return, I like it. The instructions are pretty good, and so far it's gone to plan. Like I said, it's just very tedious, but the D-Works 300 pump went in flawlessly. If you go with the 340 liter per hour pump on the Z, you'll have to normally like file down the ends and the tabs on the fuel pump retainer so that it can fit because it's a little taller. But with the D-Works one, it was literally plug and play. You just get rid of the factory grommet and you don't have to do any filing or anything. It just connects, plugs in. It was great. So highly recommend the D-Works 300 for the 350Z. So what I'm doing now, one of the last modifications I have to do to this fuel basket is to drill out this orifice on this little relief valve thing. I'm not really sure. It comes out the bottom of this basket, but got to drill it to this size they recommend. Yeah, I got these really tiny drill bits, so hopefully I can get that drilled out with no issues. It's kind of a guessing game. Like if you drill it out too much, there's no going back. And this part isn't sold separately, so really want to avoid that because then I'd need a whole new fuel basket and to do all this over again. If you do it too little, then you won't be able to get low enough fuel pressure at idle. So would love to get it right this first time, but you know, we'll see. Let's get to it. Cool. I think just need one more. For anyone that's curious, it's a number 49 drill bit. Between 49 and 48 drill bit is what they recommend for a 255 or 340 LPH fuel pump. Like I said, it's not exactly an exact science. Take it all with a grain of salt. I'm not sure if this is going to work, basically. I'm just going to do 49. Like I said, it's between 49 and 48 that they recommend, but I'm gonna start with 49. And if I really can't get my idle fuel pressure low enough, then I can always redo it, even though it would suck. But it's better than buying a whole new fuel basket just to get this part again so I could re-drill it and have to do everything over again. Cool. I think we're good to go. Now I'm just gonna pop this back in and pray to God that I did it right. Try to get all the shavings out. That's just a press fit. There we go. Okay. Other than that, just got to get this fitting on top here. And then I think this will be ready to go back in the car. Fuel basket back in. The original feed line is now the return line. This will be the new feed. So next I'll probably do injectors. I'm gonna take out these baby ones and slap in the 1000cc. And then regulator will go there. And then from there, it is pretty much just routing a bunch of lines. We are back at the shop. Last time I was here, I got the fuel basket all modified, drilled, chopped up, all the modifications I need to do to it done, and I got the new D-Works 300 fuel pump in. So that is all tucked away under there. Hopefully I don't have to reopen that. I mean, I will to set up the fuel return line, but that should just connect to the top of the fuel basket. And hopefully I don't have to take the fuel basket back out to redo anything I've done. So now moving on, next thing I'm gonna do is, well, I've got to do a few things, right? So first of all, we need to put in the new injectors. I'm keeping the stock rails. I didn't really have a reason to upgrade. Definitely don't need to for my power goals yet. And if I need to later, I can. This is the fuel damper right here. So gonna need to disconnect that. Gonna need to mount the new Z1 fuel pressure regulator around on the firewall over there, and basically run a line from there back to the basket and utilize the stock feed line as now the new return, and connect everything up here, and also connect a vacuum line to the regulator so that we can do a 1-to-1 ratio fuel pressure with boost. So we still have plenty to do before the fuel system is done, so let's get to work. So first thing we got to do is take off stock fuel damper with the wrench I don't have. Where's my wrench? It's a great question. Man, shit. What the hell? I need to use Lewis's tools. I'm just gonna start taking shit off. I don't know what's gonna happen. These instructions don't make any sense. Oh, fuel everywhere. I see why the rag was important. What does all of this do? Oh, maybe if I looked far enough back in the directions. No, still doesn't really make sense. What the hell, man? Let's take that off and see what happens. Just got the fuel rail out with the old injectors, so I'm gonna take each of these off and slap on the new 1000cc injectors. I got the new injectors in the rail. Boom. Them nice Z1 1000cc's. Gonna take these off and lubricate the O-ring with some oil. Then we're gonna plop them in the car. And the holes where they go are quite dirty. So not really sure how to get in there and clean out the holes. About the only thing I can get in there is like my pinky. I'm gonna try my best to get it as clean as possible so that these O-rings don't get pinched in any way by debris or dirt and cause a leak. So we'll see. Now let's see if she will go back in. Cool. New injectors are in. Now I gotta figure out all that. How to get from there to regulator to the basket back up here. I've already taken a while to do this, so figured I'll end the video here. Progress is slow, but it's good. We got the fuel basket modified, new pump in. Now we have the new 1000cc injectors in. So the fuel system is almost there, almost. We just have to install the new regulator and damper and connect all the lines. Getting there, but I got work tomorrow, so I'm not trying to stay here too late. Yeah, I mean, this is taking a lot of time, but hopefully we can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel soon. After the fuel system is completely done, we just have to fabricate some of the hot side. And then I think it's pretty much just bits and pieces. I mean, oil feed, I ordered the adapter and everything I need for that. Coolant lines to the turbo, putting everything back together, heat wrapping all the hot side piping. I did get some heat wrap. Mounting new locations for oil cooler, as well as power steering cooler. Just tedious stuff. It's how these builds always are. You think you're almost there and there's always something else to do. But that's just cars, can't complain. So after that's all done, then I just gotta order an uprev cable. And I'm gonna try to get a base map on this thing myself. I wanna learn how to tune. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Remember, I tried to remove this. Hey, let me see, sir. The cutoff wheel. The next bolt isn't going in there. Should I just not? Should I just leave it for there? Yeah. Lowering the torque spec by 1 foot-pound. Fuck, dude. I hit the torque spec before the bolt went all the way down. Got the regulator on and the damper. Gonna run the lines next time, but we got all the hot side piping. We got the last V-band connected on the hot side piping too. So this man can start fabbing up the missing piece. So I just stripped bolts to the lower intake, or to the intake plenum. So I'm calling it a night there before I do more damage. And I'm gonna figure it out next time. Fuel system almost done, I guess. We made some progress and took some steps backward too, but it's chill. While I was doing that, Lewis was finally touching his pro car again.
Yes.
Yes.
1 year later.
Yes. I think he got a lot of the cage welded. He dropped the cage so he could weld the top. Can't really see, but cut out those holes so you can drop it through and then weld the top, and then you put it back up and weld the rest. Yeah? It's that easy?
Mm-hmm. The only thing that's missing is just the bar right here. And it crosses.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously to take it out because you had to drop it. And then just the harness bar. And that's it. Oh, and the other 2 door bars.
And then an engine, trans, quick change,
Yeah.
custom
like
drive shaft, wiring,
within a month.
and then it's almost there.
Yeah, a month, I think. A month is a
It's like in
solid.
a week or two, yeah. But yeah, he made it FD legal and everything, so whenever we decide to do that, one of these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of these days.
Alright, been a while since I updated you guys. This last fuel line of the fuel system has been giving us trouble. We got everything else mounted, regulator, all the lines are in, all that. But the last one, we can't fit it between the gas tank and the frame. So we're dropping the subframe to get to the gas tank to drop that, and then route the last line, and then we'll be done. And we got FD plan. Hell yeah. Alright, we got it. We got it ran. That fat line you see is it. This one goes over there. We had to feed it up through in between the chassis and the gas tank. And it was so tight. There it goes, up there. You can't see, but take my word for it. We had to drop the gas tank, feed it up, and then tighten the gas tank back. So, not cool, man. But, making progress. We're back. One small step forward, one giant leap forward. What? That's not, no. The one on the bottom of the regulator, right? I distinctly remember you being like, oh, we should probably tighten it.
So now the fuel is working?
It literally, we loosened it, like the gas tank, we loosened it like a few threads, and then he was able to move it like centimeters. I mean, it went right through.
So why do you guys take it out?
So that's what we...
Ah,
Yeah, you had to take it out so we could loosen the bolts.
What? Oh. Damn, bro, there's so many coming in. Should we?
Oh, wait, yeah, we're close.
What do we do?